Hey guys, I'm Joanna Smith and I'm a developer programs engineer here at Google+. And today I brought my two favorite desk mates to help me present some upcoming changes to the Activities API.
So hi, I'm Chris Cartland and I'm a developer programs engineer on the Google+ platform.
Hi, I'm Gus Class and I'm a developer advocate and I work with Joanna and Cartland.
Yep, okay, so many of you might have seen my announcement that I sent out about 2 weeks ago and then reposted last week. So we've got a few small changes that are coming very soon, actually. So we want to talk to you about these changes and actually show you really what the difference is and help you get prepared for them. So Cartland, take it away.
Great. So there's going to be some changes coming out with the way that activities return photo albums and articles. They're very simple changes. You'll still be able to get the same content, but we're packaging them up in a nicer way, and we're going to talk about that right now. We're going to first show you what it looks like today, and then show you what it looks like soon, and then we'll show you what happens if you don't update your application and the API changes to show the same content but in a slightly different format.
And one thing is, don't worry about having to take notes and write all this stuff down because, of course, we've made it available online. You can find the link on the Google+ event, the GDL event, or the YouTube event straight back to my email where I discuss these changes in depth.
Great. So this is just a simple demo application that has two pieces of JSON. One is the old response that you can get today, and one is the new that you will get once the API rolls out. So if you render the old response, what you'll get is a series of objects, which starts with an album, which contains the title, which here is Random Album, which is a very creative name. Great job, Gus. And then after that, you get a series of objects which represent the images, and that contains a URL for an image that we fetched here, and then also a full-size image.
Yep. And so what you're seeing here is just a full album and all the attachments that are associated with it. And these are all just images, and then at the very end is an article as well, Cartland.
Great. So this last one here at the bottom is a different type of activity. It's an article. Again, it has an object for the title, which we've shown here, fancy scrolling sites, and then an image URL that we then just put on the web page. So that's what it looks like today. The new response is going to take the images within the activity and put them actually inside the object in the JSON. So rather than returning a separate object with the URLs, we're just going to package that in where they logically make sense. So if I run the new version, we still get the same information. Same photos are returned. However, in the JSON, this album is just the field. The name of the album, sorry, is a field. And then within that, there are thumbnails. And this list of thumbnails contains URLs for the images that you want to retrieve.
So Cartland, if all it is a list of thumbnails, why does the first one look like a full image instead of a thumbnail?
Good question. So the first image that is returned is actually the album cover. So it's treated as another thumbnail, but by default, it will return larger than the others, just to make it convenient to show the cover separately.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
And again, at the bottom, the article, again, returns the title. And then within the object, the JSON object, is the image, and the image, again, has a URL that you can fetch. So all of the content is the same, but the new format is better packaged. So quickly, I want to show you what happens if we take the code from the new API, and we're going to put it into the old function and see what happens. So I've just copied the new JSON into the old function, and I'm going to render it, and you'll see that none of the images showed up. And that's not because the images aren't there and you're not getting them anymore. It's just that the information's been moved around into a different place. So we'll document how you can make these updates, so that when we say render new, they'll still look beautiful.
Yep. Great demo, Cartland. So with these upcoming changes, it probably won't break everything that you've done, But you'll have to be aware that if images stop showing up, you will have to make some revisions to your code.
Okay, so when you were illustrating this, the JavaScript that we were using to form these tools, was that anything special that's available online, or was that just like the equivalent of an app that you created?
So the JavaScript is actually really simple. I would hardly call it an app. All it does is parse the JSON, and then it actually retrieves attributes from the object that's parsed.
Okay,
So-
and you use different JavaScript for each of the buttons, correct?
Exactly.
So those are the changes that we need to be highlighting?
Okay. Yeah. Sure. There's a render old button and then a render new button, and those actually will access those objects in different ways because the changes with the attachments within the objects.
Okay, yeah.
Cool. Well, so while we listen for questions, I'll show you another app that I've just been playing around with, and this is all this does is it uses the activities list API and then actually retrieves items that you search for, and then graphs them over time. So right now is probably a great time to ask questions if you guys have them for our office hours, and Joanna will be
Monitoring, as
monitoring
always.
as they go. So
I have 2 questions already, but we're going to go ahead and wait for more to come in.
Cool. So here's actually, like, I perform this query, and then I render this graph, and then you can actually see that you can see the count of results as they appear over time in my graph. And I've got another fun thing that I added to it where I render. I render all of the activity within the post as by type on this graph. So here you can see in the middle of the post is this object that's note, and it doesn't like to render. But yeah, if you actually look, there's various attributes that I'm pulling to kind of bridge together the little piece of this as a graph. So because I'm just using the display name property, this app would not be affected by the attachments changes.
Oh, cool. So this is an example of how small these changes are, right? Like,
Yep.
it doesn't affect anything else.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay, so one question that I've actually heard multiple times throughout the last 2 weeks that I'm really glad was asked on the G+ event was asked by Gerwin. And he wanted to know, so the album attachment currently returns the first few photos, about 14 of them, and he wanted to know if you posted a bigger album, this will change and it'll start returning the entire album. And I think that this is actually a further reaching question than we realize, because these changes don't actually affect any behavior of the API. We are only adjusting where data is stored and how you can retrieve it. So we're cleaning things up a bit. We're not actually modifying anything major. Is that correct, Gus?
Yep. So yeah, there were no significant changes such as that within this.
So expect all behavior to be the same. Just look for it in a new place. Okay, and then the second question that was posted was a little bit off topic. It's from Hans Moser, and he wanted some advice on his own app. And for this, we don't really have advice for particular implementation details when you're building an app, but we do have a forum and Stack Overflow. We monitor for specific questions. So always feel free to go into these to ask your peer group for advice as well. And then when you come down to a particular problem, we'll definitely be there to help answer those questions. But good luck, Hans, and I hope you'll use our forum.
Yep.
And I'm just waiting for updates if we have any more.
So yeah, we'll just hang out for a few more minutes and wait for any questions on the event or on the YouTube feed.
Yeah, we had a really quick demo this time.
Yeah, quick demo this time. It's short and sweet.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we should make the API more difficult.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, we'll make it really hard, and then we'll have a really long GDL session. That'll be great.
Hours long. So all your questions get in. So while we wait, I guess I'll go over this week's announcements, which are actually really easy and short and sweet as well. Watch out for this coming change. That's my only announcement.
Yep.
It's a pretty easy week.
Yep.
So we can always talk.
So yeah, I mean, like, so these coming changes really should not affect people's apps in most cases. Just really like the various things to be really cognizant of are are the changes to albums and the changes to articles. So, if you've adjusted for changes before along these lines, it should really be just a few minutes to less than an hour to actually address the updates.
And if you come across a problem that's taking you more than an hour maximum to solve, like, you should be posting and asking us questions about what's going on, because we've all made adjustments for these already, and we've been able to do them very, very quickly. So no questions are coming in, but
One question on YouTube.
on YouTube,
So we just got a question from YouTube.
which is still not showing up. Okay, here we go. Gizem wants to create an app that allows him to post on his blog and have that show up in his Google Plus feed. So this sounds like a great feature request for our issue tracker. If you go to developers.google.com/plus/support, you can actually submit all of your great ideas. And I personally have to go over all of them, so it's what I do after GDL. So please, give me all of your feature requests. Give me all of your ideas, and I'll pass them along to the right people and let you know about their status.
Awesome.
And of course, if your question doesn't come in by the time we end this broadcast, we'll be checking them over the next week to be able to respond to any follow-ups. All right, I think we can call it.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching.
And post your questions.
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
answer them later.
We'll see you in the next GDL.